And welcome to the 13th Annual Adoption Reception presented by the Department of Children and Family Services and hosted here at the Governor's Mansion. And we would like to thank the staff of the Governor's Mansion and the Governor for allowing us to come this afternoon. National Adoption Month is a time to celebrate those families who have gone through the adoption process, who've chosen to build families by taking in children that need a permanent home. The first national adoption recognition came in 1984 after President Ronald Reagan proclaimed National Adoption Week. In 1995, President Bill Clinton extended the celebration from National Adoption Week to National Adoption Month. So every November since 1995, we take time to celebrate those families that have come together and also to build awareness of the need for adoption.
God said, build a better world. I asked him, how? This world is such a huge, vast place, and so complicated now. I am just a foster parent. Surely there is nothing I can do. But God, in all of his wisdom, said, foster parents, become adoptive parents and build a better you. I want to thank the Department of Children and Family Services for asking our family, the Patton family, and we are known in my hometown of Arkadelphia, Arkansas, as representatives for the UN, because my husband is multicultural. I am multicultural, and you guys met Zoe and Angelina. Patrick is sleeping right now. This is his nap time. And when we do go places, people look at us and say we should be the poster family for the UN when it comes to adopted families. We are what is considered a transracial adopted family. And our journey started in Honolulu, Hawaii in 2000. We had gone through all of the foster parenting and adoptive parenting courses. Most of the families were military. As you can tell, my husband is Navy. I was in my PhD program at the University of Hawaii. And we did everything that we were supposed to do, the background check, the home studies, the mountains of paperwork, the physical exams, the credit check, and your financial examination. Hawaii has, and so does Louisiana, but Hawaii has a very, very, very long process to become certified to be foster parents. And ironically, it took us exactly 9 months, the same amount of time that it would have taken me to have a baby. And after we finished, several of our military families had already gotten children within the first week of graduating from our class to be foster to adoptive parents. 2 months go by, 3 months go by, and we're going to adoptive baby showers. And Keith and I still didn't have a baby yet, and we were wondering, what's wrong with us? They said we passed with flying colors. You're a naval officer, I'm getting a PhD. We passed all of our background checks, why aren't we getting a baby? Well, we came home for Mother's Day in May of 2000, and was visiting my mom, and my mom said, well, maybe they're looking for a baby that looks like you guys. I'm like, okay, well, we're in Hawaii, that's possible. So I go back and I write a very nice letter to the social workers in Hawaii. Amy West, I'll never forget her, became our social worker, and she was the one that received my letter. And I said that we were anxiously awaiting a foster child. And yes, my husband is half African-American, half Jewish. I'm Native American and African-American. We didn't care what the baby looked like. He or she could be blue, green, maroon, or Martian. We just want to be parents. And on May 30th, I mailed the letter on May 15th. May 30th, I got a phone call about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Sonia, we have a baby girl. I didn't ask any questions. I didn't say, what does she look like? What's her? I said, I'm on my way. Where is she? And she was like, wait. There are some issues. She's very premature. Very, very premature. She may have some issues. Are you sure, you guys? I don't care. I'm on my way. Don't you want to talk to your husband? He doesn't care either. He was actually in Saudi Arabia. So I said, well, I'm making the decisions now. I'm on my way. I ran to Queens Hospital. Zoe was born at Queens Hospital, the same hospital our president was born in. And I ran to the neonatal ICU. There were 5 babies in there. And they had to scrub me up and put my clothes on me and let me go in and see her. And when I went over to her, I said, Lord Jesus, I asked for a Martian. And she actually looked like one with her little bitty self. She was so tiny. She was transparent. Her skin was so frail, you could actually see the blood pumping through her veins. And I immediately put my hand in through the isolette and I prayed for her. And they said she's probably going to be here 3 to 6 months. That's how premature she is. Are you guys sure that you want to do this? In the meantime, I had already called Keith and he was on his way home. I never told him what she looked like, anything about her. We still didn't know her ethnicity. We didn't care because we knew this was supposed to be our child. Zoe was supposed to be in the hospital 3 to 6 months. Our pastor from our church in Hawaii came and prayed over Zoe. Zoe came home in 15 days. And you guys saw Zoe, the tall one. Stand up, Zoe. Ain't she gorgeous? She is beautiful. Mama's little Martian. Mama loves her very much. She is so beautiful. She is so smart. I can say all of that because she has no DNA related to me. So I can brag on her and Angelina. And I will get to Angelina's story. Zoe became ours. Her adoption process was a little lengthy because of all of the legal issues with terminating mom's legal rights. But we moved to Louisiana for me to take a job at Louisiana State University. We got here May 2002. May 2002, I was shopping June 7th, 2002 at Sam's Club. We didn't have Sam's in Hawaii, so I was so excited. I was always at Sam's Club. My cell phone rings and it's an 808 area code. I'm like, okay, one of my friends calling. It was Amy West. Sonia, Zoe has a baby sister. Same birth mom. I'm like, what? She has a baby sister. So Angelina was in Hawaii. We had just located to Louisiana, and Zoe had a baby sister. What do you guys want to do? Because birth mom wants her to be with Zoe. Again, I love my husband. I'm on my way. I didn't even call him. I said, I'm on my way. And she said, to Hawaii? I said, yeah, I got to go home first and talk to Keith, but I'm on my way. So I immediately called Keith, and on my way home from Sam's, Zoe has a baby sister. She's in Hawaii. They're going to contact the Department of Children's Services in Baton Rouge to see what we need to do. Well, I didn't understand the interstate compact agreement. How many of you have gone through that? Anybody? Okay, so you guys know what I'm talking about. I thought I could just go to Hawaii and get Angelina and bring her home immediately, but I couldn't. The 2 states had to work together to make sure that our home here in Baton Rouge, which we had just moved to, was suitable and safe for a foster child that would essentially be the ward of the state for Louisiana. And I want to tell you, the individuals in Louisiana at the Department of Children's Services, Trina and Valerie Broussard and Holly and all the people that worked with us were above and beyond professional, loving, warm. They went out of their way. I went to Hawaii almost every month to visit Angelina so that she would know me, the emergency foster home that she was in. Birth mom had pictures of all of us, and even our dog Simba would show them to Angelina all the time and tell her, this is your mama, this is your mama, this is your big sister, this is your daddy, this is your dog. And we traveled quite a bit back and forth to Hawaii. So it wasn't until 2003 that Angela was actually placed in our home. Now Angela was a little spoiled when she got to us because her foster family in Hawaii, the brother played with the Chicago Bears. He now plays with the Saints. And Angela would leave Hawaii with her foster mom, which was the mom of the pro football player, and she would go to Chicago every year during football season. So we got to go to Chicago every year as well to visit Angelina. And Louisiana was just absolutely wonderful. So we finally brought Angelina home. I believe it was August 2003 that she made Baton Rouge her home. So we had our two girls. Mama was pursuing tenure at LSU, extremely stressed out. Angelina was potty trained, and in kindergarten, the girls could put their own cereals together and help make their lunches and dress themselves, and life was good. And then we get a phone call. I believe Juliana was the one that took the phone call. This is my colleague from work. I was in Chicago working for LSU, recruiting for our diversity program in our College of Business, and Trina had been calling and calling, trying to reach me, but I was out of town. So she finally talked to Juliana in our office and said that the department had a baby boy. Again, he was preemie, had gotten no prenatal care, but they knew that we had said, once I got tenure, and you cannot make a deal with God, because I did. I told the Lord, as soon as I get tenure, Lord, my husband and I will adopt an African-American boy. As soon as I get tenure, I just got to get through this tenure process. Well, I didn't put my tenure package in until 2010. Patrick was born November 22nd, 2008. So I went through some dilemma. Oh my Lord, what should I do? And my husband again said, honey, it's up to you. You know I want a little boy, but it's up to you. It's up to you. We have to pray about it. And I called Miss Fern, our dean's wife is here today, and I struggled with it as if, oh my Lord, if I adopt another child at this point in my tenure, they're not going to think I'm serious about getting tenure, and they may not tenure me because they will think I just want to be a mom. And you women out there know what I'm talking about. When it comes to working in corporate America or academia, you have to always consider what your colleagues have, their perception of you. And I'm blessed to have some wonderful people in my life. God had already told my heart what we were going to do, but to have confirmation from Miss Fern and Juliana and my mom, and they all said the same thing. What if, by miracle, you were to get pregnant? Would you be worried about having the baby because of what your colleagues at work thought about you and the seriousness, how you felt about your job? No, this is your baby. And all of you know what happened in November 2008. In this United States, we elected the first African-American multicultural president in the history of the United States. Patrick was laying at Earl K. Long in a neonatal ICU, and my husband said to me, that may be our Obama. He needs us. So I didn't tell the girls because they were always asking me about their adoption story. What was it like when they came home from the hospital? Did I get to ride in a wheelchair? What was it like coming out of the hospital with them? So I didn't tell them about Patrick. I got the car seat, and I got everything together, working very closely with Holly Whittle at that time. She's now Holly Mills, I believe. And I picked the girls up from school, and I told them I needed them to run an errand with me. And they were like, okay. And we drove to Earl K. Long. And they both were looking like, why are we here? I said, we need to go upstairs really quick just to check on something. Okay, I had hid the car seat in the back. And we go upstairs, we find Holly, and before I can even see the baby, the two girls had gone into the neonatal, the NIC unit. They found Patrick, and the first thing they said was, God answered our prayers, Mama, we got a brother. And I said, what? They had been asking for a brother. 3 years before they asked for a brother, and we got them a male Rhodesian Ridgeback, but they wanted a real brother. And so they had a brother, and they just fell in love with Patrick right there. Daddy hadn't even seen him yet. Daddy was at work, and the hospital told us we couldn't leave with him until we gave him a name. So birth mom was there, and we asked her if she wanted to name him, and she said, no, now that I know that he's going to be yours, you name him. And we called Daddy, and we said, Daddy, we can't leave without putting a name on his birth certificate. And Daddy said, what does he look like? And I described him, and he said, he sounds like my grandfather, and kind of like my dad. And I said, yeah, he does, even though he was so tiny. He said, let's name him Patrick. And we did. We named him Patrick Wiley Patton. And he has been the absolute love of our lives. And every day I thank God that we decided as a family to be an adopted family. My husband has 2 older children from his first marriage. They're grown, 30 years old, so I'm dating, I'm telling how old you are, honey. But we always wanted to have a family, boys, girls, and even though I said, Lord Jesus, I think we're through, I have learned now not to tell the Lord what I'm not going to do or try to make a deal with God to say when I will do something. All I know is that my family, my husband's family, our little family together, love children. We love this United States. We want to do the very best that we can by raising our children, and we are just so blessed to be in a state that is so conscientious and so proactive toward adoption as the state of Louisiana. And I know we should give these ladies and gentlemen a big round of applause for all the work that you guys do. Ms. Cheryl, everyone. We are an example for other states. And in closing, I just want to read a little bit of a poem that I've been writing for the girls. I'm going to try not to cry. Zoe always asks me, Mama, tell me about the day I was born. Did it hurt? Did your labor hurt? Was it hard? And I would always tell her, no, you were delivered from my heart and not my womb. You came not a minute too early, not a minute too late, and not a moment too soon. Mama, who do I look like? Well, Daddy and I didn't get to give you DNA or shape your physical mold. But thanks to God, Mommy and Daddy get to shape your heart, your mind, and hopefully your soul. Thank you, adoptive parents.
Last year, Louisiana saw a record of 646 Louisiana children adopted in 455 homes. And because of that record, the Louisiana Department of Children and Family Services was awarded an adoption award from the federal government of $1.3 million to further the work of adoptions in Louisiana. And while we recognize all of you today for the special gift that you've given to Louisiana's children, we are going to honor some specific people with some special recognition. First, I'd like to recognize Cheryl Barton of the department, and this wasn't on the program, so she's going to be a little surprised. She has worked since the inception of the ceremony tirelessly for the department, and she has very much so earned her retirement, and she is retiring this year. The department will truly miss her and her contribution. I'd also especially like to recognize Terry and Brian Herbofsky. They're the proud parents of 3 biological children and 1 adopted child. Together they have fostered over 30 children and youth and continue to be available for placement of children and youth in Louisiana regardless of race and age. Terry is the president of Southeast Louisiana Foster and Adoptive Parent Association. Last November, they worked with the Greater New Orleans Regional Recruiter to arrange for older children freed for adoption and in residential facilities to enjoy a day of fun and mentorship with several of the Saints team members. They also led their local association in collecting donations to purchase basic items needed for their Operation 72-hour bags. These bags provide basic items to children who have been removed from their homes due to abuse and neglect. More recently, they've partnered with First Baptist Church in New Orleans to encourage its members to become certified foster and adoptive homes. And I just would like to thank you all as well for being the poster for adoptive and foster parenting. As you know, we have over 5,000 children, approximately 5,000 children currently in foster care. So there is no shortage of need for foster and adoptive parents. So you all are our best ambassadors to get additional adoptive and foster parents. So thank you again for being that perfect example. I'm not finished yet. They also partner, they've done a lot. They also partner with their community in supplying donations for the annual Christmas toy drive for foster children each year. Last November, the Southeast Louisiana Foster and Adoptive Parents Association help support National Adoption Day in New Orleans, which raises community awareness about children that enter foster care as victims of abuse and neglect and become available for adoption. Thank you, Terry and Brian, for opening your hearts and homes to Louisiana's children in need. Please come forward to accept this year's Adoption Advocate Award. Thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate everything you do. God bless you. Thank you. Oh, picture time. He knows how much I hate pictures. So. Thank y'all. I'd also like to recognize Donna Owens, an All-State agent, who generously donated to DCFS Adoption Match Party in the Thibodeau region. The donations helped to contribute to the purchase of food, supplies, gifts for each child in attendance. Her commitment to supporting children and putting their needs at the forefront is a testimony to her genuine passion for children. Her support was further complemented by her attendance and participation in the October 10 match party. Thank you, Ms. Owens, for your support for Louisiana's children and families. Please come forward to accept your award.
Is Ms. Owens here? Ms. Owens? Kim Wesson, Adoption Supervisor from Thibodeau Region, will accept the award on behalf of Ms. Owens.
Thank you, and thank you for all that you do. I appreciate it. Another special person I'd like to thank is Mandy Lynn, or Mandy Holloway of Mandy Lynn's Photography. Ms. Holloway has given of herself, her time, and her resources to photograph our children at no cost to the agency. And if you've ever been to our website, you'll see the pictures of the children available for adoption. The picture she takes helps these children put their best face forward in the hopes that they will find a potential foster or adoptive parent. Thank you, Ms. Holloway, for your support, your individual attention to each child, and for making our children feel special. Please come forward to accept our Community Support Award. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything that you do. I really appreciate it. And finally, I'd like to recognize Donna and Judy Johnson of Cart Ranch. This couple has offered their recreational place of business to the Lafayette region since 2003 and has sponsored the annual Christmas match party in hopes of connecting youth with adoptive families. They've worked in conjunction with our community partner, Adopt Older Kids Incorporated, to assist in promoting the adoption of older children and adoption awareness in the Lafayette area. Cart Ranch permits the use of their facility for children and families to meet at no cost to the participants. This commitment to families has assisted in many matches over the past several years. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, for your support for Louisiana's children and families. Please come forward to accept our Community Support Award. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, you gotta take a picture. Yeah, it's gotta go up on the website. Thank you. I appreciate it. In closing, again, I'd like to thank Terry and Brian, Donna, Mandy, Don and Judy, and all of our adoptive parents statewide, and all of our adoption advocates. Adoption has the power to change children's lives by giving them a forever family, some place that they can feel safe, some place that they know that they are loved, some place that they know they can always count on a new mom or dad. So thank you all again. We truly appreciate your commitment and everything that you do and everything that you give to these children. As we know, children who are adopted into a permanent family are more likely to be successful later in life. They're more likely to graduate from high school. They're more likely to go on to, should have got some water, to post-secondary school, and they're more likely to enter the workforce. These are powerful statistics. Because we know the impact of adoption in a children's life, we continue our efforts to recognize and raise awareness of adoption, not only in the month of November, but year-round. And our efforts are paying off with help from organizations like those honored today, from heart galleries across the state, and with children that are featured on television and in newspapers. You all should be very proud of these awards, which are given because we've exceeded our efforts. Parents, thank you so much for your commitment. Your loving and stable home that you provide to Louisiana's children speaks volumes for the compassion and caring of the people of the state. Thank you all so very much. The Department of Children and Family Services is committed to the cause of having our children who are in foster care adopted. We provide additional supports for families that adopt children to help ease the transition for those children and families from foster care.
So, do you have enough foster adoptive homes?
With over 4,000 children in foster care, and as I said earlier, 600 children have become available for adoption, sadly we don't. So if at all possible, if people feel that they're at a stage in their lives that they can offer these children stability, we would certainly welcome them to contact their local Department of Children and Family Services office to become a foster or adoptive home.
So tell me a little bit about your adopting experience.
Well, it's been pretty amazing. We've had the privilege in the process of adopting, of fostering over 30 children, and our little boy we got as a foster child, and about 6 months into it, his mom surrendered her rights and we were able to adopt him. And it's been about a year, and it's been just an incredible experience. Not everybody can foster and adopt, and I know that, but everybody can play a role. And throughout the state, we have local associations such as ours, and we take donations of baby beds, strollers, gently used toys or clothes, and we're able to pass them out to the families that are in need. So my thing is find out what you can do and do it, because everybody has a role to play in caring for the children of our state.
I would just say, if you're curious about being a foster parent, don't just wait for some mail to come and maybe I'll get up, get the telephone and call information. Go online. Just go online and type in, just Google in Louisiana adoption, and you will get a hit with so many different links that's going to take you to the right information to the Department of Child and Family Services. You will even get to that link that's going to show you all these beautiful children that are freed for adoption, meaning their parental rights, the mom and the dad, the biological mom and dad, those rights have been terminated by the state, and these children are ready to be adopted. They're ready to go into a permanent family home. I would say don't wait for someone to come to your house and knock on the door and ask, do you want to be a foster parent? Would you like to be an adoptive parent? Just make the decision. Now, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make a difference in a child's life. As I say all the time, I don't know what Patrick's going to be when he grows up. He's so tall right now, people say, oh, he's going to be an NBA basketball player. He could be a rocket scientist. He could be a naval officer like his dad. He could be a professor like me. But it doesn't matter what he chooses to be, because I know we're raising him right. We're giving him the love, the nurturing, and the spiritual guidance that he needs, and he's going to be a productive citizen of the United States, and so will our girls. And that's the advice, and that's the encouragement that I would give anybody that's watching this. Just do it. I'm using the Nike slogan. Just do it.